without streams, with little rain. Once again, the rains held off and the sun baked the earth.
Across back roads and forgotten towns, the past lives on. Not in textbooks, but in weathered plaques, quiet museums, and the stories we nearly lost. I'm Pelham Pugh, and this is American Shadows, uncovering the people, places, and relics that shaped our American history. In 1933, America was on its knees. Factories were sobbing. Families were wandering. Young men with strong backs and no place to point them. President Franklin D. Roosevelt offered a lifeline, the CCC. It's a big in conservation corps, a simple promise of work, food, and purpose for men between the ages of 18 and 25. They would rebuild the nation, one trail, one stone, one part at a time. Before the CCC arrived, Florida Caverns wasn't a park. It wasn't even on the map. Locals knew of sinkholes and hidden passages, but the full cavern system? That belonged to darkness. When CCC Company 445 arrived in Mariana in 1938, the men expected to build trails and plant trees. They didn't expect to crawl on their bellies through tight limestone cracks with lanterns in hand, discovering rooms that had been sealed for thousands of years. They became explorers, mud-covered, wide-eyed, and fearless. The pathways visitors walk today, they weren't natural. They were cut into the stone, carved by CCC picks, shovels, and sheer grit. In total darkness, the men widened passages by hand. No power tools, no ventilation. Just sweat, rock dust, and determination. They installed lighting. They built walkways. They cleared chambers that hadn't felt human footsteps since the Ice Age. Some of the men said the caverns were the quietest place they'd ever been. Others said the darkness felt alive. Above the ground, the CCC built everything from roads to picnic shelters to the handsome limestone visitor center that still greets travelers today. Every stone they set, every timber they raised was Depression-era craftsmanship, built slow, built solid, built to last. Some of those men ended up staying in Mariana. Some fought in World War II. Many carried memories of those caverns for the rest of their lives.
So if anyone here has to leave our cavern for any reason, claustrophobia, medical condition, or emergency, you can let me know at any time. I can escort anybody out to our nearest exit no more than 5 minutes away. With that being said, y'all ready to go?
Yes, sir!
Okay, so you guys go down, watch your heads, watch your... Water. Our local river sponsored Flow River, and that was flooded this cavern. eating all of our limestone away in a process called erosion. Over time, that opened up all of our rooms. Eventually, a lot of that water was seeped from our cavern, going down through here, sitting way far in the back where we can't see it, but it's way back there, sitting back there today. And the rest of that water didn't leave with that, went into our Florida aquifer, which is only 25 feet below us in this room. And our Florida aquifer is a giant underground water cavern that spans the entire state of Florida, giving all of us our drinking water. But guys, we are 60 feet below the surface. This is the deepest point in our cavern we're going today. With our basement right down here sitting at 65 feet. But with the recent rain, it's a bit too wet and muddy for us to go down there today. But with that rain being said, our cavern floods. Every spring, water will come in from our ceiling very, very slowly, taking days to weeks for water to reach the deepest point of our cavern, being down here. But when that does happen, water from the rain will flood up our basement to this ridge line, and on the rare occasion, up to my waist in this room. When this happens, you can see different critters from our aquifer come up and sit down on our ridge line, such as our blind crawfish and our extremely rare Georgia blind salamander. Any questions? Look right back here will be our next room. If we go down, watch your head. There's 2 to 3 weddings down here every single year. But I'm talking about our flow stone. And our flow stone will be right back here. This will be your generic version of flow stone, being made by water flowing down the entire side of the cavern wall. As water flows down this wall, it picks up minerals. And due to a process called deposition, it places these minerals along the entire wall, building up our formation. Now right here in the wall next to you guys, this flow stone is called our cave drapery. And this flow stone is made by water going down the cavern wall in a singular line. And up here in the ceiling, you also see our soda straws being formed by carbonic acid. A carbonic acid is made as rainwater falls to our atmosphere, picking up dust and carbon dioxide. And when it lands going through our topsoil, it picks up acids in the topsoil, including more carbon dioxide. But when that water hits our limestone, it starts eating through it, picking up minerals. And when it gets down to us, it puts these minerals in a hollow ring on top of our ceiling. This ring will get 12 inches in length and seal up, making our stalactites. They hang tight up onto the ceiling. Now while these get bigger, they'll be dripping their excess minerals on the ground, making our stalagmites. You might trip over one of them. But eventually these two will meet somewhere along the way, making these big old columns. And just to show you guys how old this column right here is, how old everything in our cavern is. It takes 100 years for a single cubic inch to grow in our cavern. So our soda straws are hundreds to 1,200 years old, with the floor above us being 60 to 70 million years old. Any questions? But these are very, very slow. They're gradual. There could be a shift happening right now. We wouldn't even know about it for the next couple of hundred years until another fracture just like that one over appears. But it will all reseal, leading us to our first mineral we call calcite. Calcite's the white mineral found above that fracture, being made from bones and fossils and giving us all of our calcium. Now right back here on this muddy brown rock, that's called our manganese, giving us all of our magnesium. Also been the reason why we don't drink the cave water, because manganese acts as a natural laxative. Now up in the ceiling above y'all can see our iron deposits coming from clay and our topsoil, giving it that reddish brown color. But y'all, when the CCC, or Civilian Conservation Corps, came down here in 1938, these were the workers working their cavern until 1942, making these pathways for us, mapping out this cavern and naming all of our rooms. But they did not name this room the fracture room. The first ever name they would have given this room would have been the Donald Duck room.
Huh. Make the sound.
Make the sound.
Florida Caverns remains the only public showcase in the state of Florida. Thousands walk through its chambers every year, watching the same formations the CCC men once eliminated with bare bulbs and tin reflectors. What started as an emergency jobs program ended as a legacy, a monument not just to geology, but to human resilience.
We'll be experiencing total darkness.
Wow.
3, 2, 1.
Another.
So I'm going to show you just how much the CCC would have had with their oil lanterns walking through the cavern for the very first time. Not much light. Still not enough light. Because we're But as they walked through this cavern, this floor was not flattened for them. They were walking through, they would trip, fall, hit their heads on the stalactites on the ceiling, and the stalagmites, rocks, and holes over the floor. But there are about 300 workers down here, and not a single one died. Every worker that worked down here made it out alive. But us tour guides get bored like making up those stories. Okay, also welcome to the waterfall room. Waterfall formations right here and right back there. And y'all, in a good heavy rain, it's going, y'all can see water flowing down like a waterfall, filling up these cascading rooms from below it. But it's kind of dry, not much to look at. So we've been focusing on our ceiling. And y'all, this ceiling is about 60 to 70 million years old, as was once the ocean floor. Florida was once a vast, shallow, warm sea 60 to 70 million years ago. Meaning y'all can find all types of stuff in the ceiling, like seashells. Y'all can even find a sea urchin fossil back where y'all standing over there in that area. So as y'all Did you know that these bats pollinate more than bees do?
Had no idea.
Yep, they pollinate at night. So when all the bees are out in sleep, they'll fly down, hit flowers, and they pick up insects. And all that flower coats their fur, all the pollen, all that kind of stuff. As they flap their wings, all that pollen's more widespread because they're up higher.
These caverns, the earth speaks and drips and echoes. But listen close, and you might hear something else. The ghosts of young men who rebuilt a nation from the inside out. As we leave the caverns and step back into the Florida sunlight, remember history isn't just written in books or carved in a stone. It's alive in places like this and in the stories we chase together. If you enjoyed this journey into the shadows of the New Deal, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Our next trip takes us deep in Alabama's forgotten first territorial capital, a ruined ghost town swallowed by the woods, a place where the river moved, the people left, but the story stayed. St. Stephen's. You won't want to miss that one. And if you want to explore more Southern darkness, family secrets, and the cracked edges of justice, check out my Fractured Horizons novels, Perfidious Tides, Last Kites from the Sky, and Live the Last Day. They're available wherever boats are sold, and they help support this channel and the stories we tell here. This is American Shadows. Thanks for watching. See you on the next back road.